So, welcome this afternoon. My name is Alfredo Fonseca. I am the head of internationalization at Westfield Business School. It is so great to be here. And today we're going to have a what we could call a life-changing information session. Why life-changing? Because we're going to be talking about your future. What programs are in vogue? What programs are what the market is looking for? So today I'm very pleased that we will be talking about our data analytics masters. Um, what we're going to do today is first, I'm going to guide you through some general points about Westfield and our programs. We're going to start with a short video. It's always nice to get to see different points that we have this amazing video. And then we'll go into details for the three master programs that we offer currently out of our Miami campus. So thank you again for joining, and let's get started.
Welcome to Westfield Business School, where we prepare leaders for a world driven by data, sustainability, and innovation. Our STEM master's degrees are offered in a blended format, combining in-person sessions held on select weekends in Brickell, the financial and tech hub of the city, with the flexibility of online learning. We offer three cutting-edge programs for future-ready leaders: MBA in Business Analytics, Master in Financial Analytics, Master in Digital Marketing Analytics, built on a flexible methodology, real-world application, and international capstone projects. Boost your learning through our Global Immersion Weeks in Silicon Valley, Munich, Madrid, Miami, or Boston. At Westfield, we shape professionals who drive change through the people, planet, and profit philosophy. This isn't just a master's degree, it's a new mindset. Your future starts here, and we'll build it together. We awake human potential to improve the world.
So that's our video. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna, carry on with the presentation. I believe you have access to the chat. If anyone has a question, feel free to write it. This is an information session for you. The idea is to answer all the questions you might have. My recommendation is that you wait towards the end because probably some of the questions that you're gonna have as I present will be answered as we move along in the presentation. So, well, again, about Westfield, we're a school with over 20 years of proven leadership experience. We're located in Miami, and we have pioneered MBA education in English and Spanish because we've been very forth-setting with the online programs. We have migrated to to the data analytics, which is a new generation of programs. I mean, MBAs are still very strong in the professional world, but also there's a lot of need for data analysis. If you're a current manager or you're working at a company or if you're an entrepreneur, managing data is so important. So these programs have been designed with that in mind. We have over 4,000, almost 5,000 alumni currently. So, it's a very important base of Westfielders around the globe, and that makes us very proud. As you know, schools are made up of their students, and they are the ambassadors of our success. More about Westfield, where, of course, properly designated by the United States government, by the different accreditations that are needed to teach master programs. The Florida Department of Education, DEAC. So all these are a symbol of quality and assurance that you're receiving the best education, and regulated education was so important. Everything out of our campus in Miami. And you're gonna hear me talk a lot about Miami because Miami is one of the centers and one of the benefits that we offer in your education. And here it's a very simple graph to give you an idea. Basically, 8 reasons why study with us. It's a very competitive world. There's a lot of choices, and we want to be your choice of excellence. Westfield, we offer the most flexible program that we have designed with you in mind. Why flexible? Because when you're studying a master, it's a very, very high commitment in time. Our option for these three masters is a hybrid. That means that you'll be running most of your program online, synchronous and asynchronous. So, you'll be doing a lot of work with professors and also on your own. But additionally, you're going to have the opportunity to visit our campus. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we move along in the presentation. Our approach is experiential and practical. You're going to be working on real cases, real life projects with current examples of what's going on in the business world and how they apply to data analysis. We're very proud to focus on the triple bottom line model, people, planet, profit. That is the essence of Westfield. You as a student are at our center. Us as faculty and staff members are at the center, and the world is at the center of Westfield. So we're very focused in providing the best experience possible, keeping in mind our surrounding, sustainability, but also teaching you the best practices on how to make profitable decisions, right? It's important. And again, we're properly accredited by DEAC and the Florida Department of Education. We operate out of Brickell, which is the heart of the financial district in Miami. And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about that further on. I already mentioned about our growing alumni base, which is, something that makes us very proud. Each one of them, it's special. And we strive at keeping contact as you navigate this world of choices. We do partner with top companies. Our portfolio of companies, spans from multinationals companies to medium to small businesses, everything that makes up the business environment in the USA and globally. And this is very important. This last point of why study with us is very important. Our professors. As they say, it doesn't matter where you get a medical operation. What matters is the doctor that's running the operation. Well, here's the same concept. You're going to be exposed to highly professional and educated faculty, PhD. They have research behind, experience, real life. So this is a very important point when selecting Westfield as your choice of study. And here a little bit about how we are structured. Your program is going to be comprised of in-person training. You're going to be exposed, of course, to data analytics and how to make decisions, learning, out of current tools into data analysis. You're going to be working with experts, and of course, you're going to be working in a global environment, which is so important, not only because of Miami, but also because of the approach we have at Westfield. And here it's one of the most dense, full slides we have. And this is very important. And please pay attention to this part because this is the essence of your program, how we're structured and the methodology. The programs, the three options we have for STEM programs are 16 months, 4 semesters. Each course is 6 weeks, and you'll be doing 2 weeks in person and 4 weeks online. Okay, so that is very important to keep in mind. Remember, this is a hybrid program. And here, as you can see in this graph, where it says example of 6 weeks courses, the first week, usually they're in person. You'll be welcome at our Miami campus, and you come into the campus during the weekends. It's Saturday and Sunday. Yes, very condensed, but that week you won't have classes. Everything happens on that weekend, get kick-started. It's a great chance to work with your peers, get to know the professors. And yes, it's intense, but at the same time, when you take this decision to do a master programs, you're investing, one of your biggest investments is time. But we have designed it in a way that you're able to carry on with your personal and professional commitments, okay? Then, for example, week 2, week 3, you'll be doing online work, which is a combination of asynchronous and synchronous work, basically with your professors, and then you'll have some assignments. You need to dedicate time to meet the deadlines, but everything will be happening online. Then usually on week 4, you're back in person, another weekend in beautiful Brickell, and week 5 and 6, usually you end up your course online, okay? So this is, of course, just an overview, but this is how the hybrid program works at Westfield. Okay, so let's continue. Now we're going to go into some overall specifics on each program. Here you can see the three data analysis masters we're offering. The first one is the MBA in Business Analytics. The second one is Master in Digital Marketing Analytics. And then we have the Master in Financial Analytics. You can already tell by the names the focus they have, and we'll start with the first one, with the MBA in Business Analytics. This program, we could call it's not the general, because of this. This is business analytics, so it already has a theme, a very specific theme. But this is a program that it's aimed at someone who maybe is not looking for a finance or marketing specific, master. This is a little bit more broad, but at the same time, it's focused completely on data analysis. It's numerical, it's data driven. This program, of course, we incorporate strategic leadership. This is something I would like to mention. Westfield, we pride in that in all of our programs, we always incorporate concepts such as leadership, sustainability, profitability. Even if you're doing a program which is data analysis, you'll be exposed to themes in leadership. You'll start your program, for example, with an introspection of what kind of leader you are. So we work also on that part that is so important in helping you develop your career and have an excellent journey in learning. And here you can see some numbers about why STEM programs are so important nowadays. Let's remember that when we talk about data analysis, we're also, living in a world that's ever changing, where AI is present, and you need to learn and how to use those tools. This program is great for maybe someone who has done already an MBA in the past and wants to get updated and focus a little bit on data analysis, or someone who is, growing in their career and wants to take a step up and, learn what companies really need you to know nowadays. Here's a little bit about the curriculum, and you can get a glance of the program of the courses you'll be taking in the MBA in Business Analytics. These are wonderful courses, so interesting. Business analytics and statistical programming, for example, the triple bottom line thinking. I mean, it's more than 3 words. There's a big approach behind it. Mathematical methods for data engineering. Wow, that's a very complex class, but it's very important. Then you have the programs that are a little bit more themed, such as strategic management, marketing management, business analytics. And here you have an idea of the credit distribution. The important thing is that at the end, you have completed a total of 38 credits. Okay? All right. So I don't see any questions in the chat, and we'll carry on with the next masters. Okay, and here you can see some photos from our campus. Okay, Master in Financial Analytics. To start off, we're located in 1200 Brickell Avenue, right in the heart of the financial center in Miami. It is a financial center that's also going through a transformation. It's becoming an educational corridor. It's becoming a fashion district, combining a little bit what's going on in the north of downtown. But still, there are so many banks and so many financial institutions around us that you can feel it's like a second Wall Street. So for those that are considering the Master in Financial Analytics, it's just a wonderful place to be in. It's you can breathe finance in the air. Okay. So again, this program, it's aimed at students who want to improve their skills in financial analytics models area, learn about tools such as Python, and it's very number oriented, of course. The number says it. So I encourage those that are in the banking world, in the financial world, or you want to move into that industry, to consider this program. Here you can see a little bit again about the curriculum. It's we have the base programs in all of the master programs, and then we have the specific ones. If you remember, for example, when we talked about the MBA in Business Analytics, We have, it'll be the same courses, business analytics and statistical programming, triple bottom down line thinking. But then you're going to have the specific courses such as financial markets, derivative pricing, risk management, and all those fun financial institution courses that are so important. But remember, this is not a regular MBA. These are courses focused and based in data analysis, okay? So they're all data driven. Okay, and let's carry on. And the third program, Digital Marketing Analytics. This is a wonderful program, very up to date. It's something that has, been created thinking about the tendencies today. The world of marketing has evolved in the past 20 years. Marketing went from being just, creating campaigns to being the center of any company and also being the center of entrepreneurs that use social media constantly, influencers. It's a very different world. So this master it's open to anyone as well, people working already multinationals in the marketing area, or again, if you want to migrate towards marketing, maybe you're in a general administration position and you're interested in marketing. What better way to enter that field than learning how to process data, how to make decisions based on data? Because again, this is the benefit you're going to receive from all three programs. It's to learn how to make decisions, okay? And please keep that in mind. It's so important. How to make decisions based on data. If you're an entrepreneur, for example, how to scale your business, how to have an exit strategy. When we say exit strategy in entrepreneurship, means selling your business. If you're not able to manage data, you're not going to be successful. And with this program, with the digital marketing, you're taking decisions for for your marketing, for how to grow your audience based on data. Okay, and you can see I get excited about this last one. I wish I had more time to take this one, this program. Again, here you can see the curriculum. You have the base programs, the base courses, and then you have the specific courses such as customer analytics. That is so important, right? All the measurements you can have in the customer world, marketing and marketing research. Research is so important today. Learning how to manage that area. Just think how AI is playing a role and how much fake information we have around. So learning how to analyze data and get the correct data, it's so important and more important than ever. And then we have advanced marketing analytics. And then you'll be doing, of course, a project. And that is something, keep in mind as well, in each master, you're going to have a capstone project, which is a great way, to summarize all your studies and put them into action. Because the approach at Westfield is not only, it's not only studying, but it's also practical. Okay, and here are some photos from our classrooms. Okay, so I still do not see any questions in the chat, so I'm going to continue. And now we get into another very interesting point, why study at Westfield. And these are our famous Global Immersion Weeks. Remember, I mentioned that one of our cornerstones are we connect you to the world, and we do it through different ways, and one of them are the Global Immersion Weeks. When you're a student at one of our master programs, you're eligible to participate in one of these wonderful weeks. It depends what semester you're in. It depends what week is being offered. For example, this upcoming March, we have Miami and Silicon Valley. Then in the fall, we tend to have Munich, Boston, and the calendar does shift. But for today, I want to leave a message that it's not only taking the regular classes, the projects, but also having this opportunity to participating in the Global Immersion Weeks. If you love to travel and you're lucky enough, you might be able to participate in the Munich or in the Spain Global Immersion Week. If you're in Miami, you're originally from Florida, going to Silicon Valley or Boston. So the idea is to connect you with interesting cities and also improve your network. That is something very important in the business world, whether you're doing data analytics or a regular MBA. Okay. All right. So now let's get into business with Miami. Okay. Well, I'm not sure from the audience we have today if we have local Miami residents or Floridians or if you're out of state. But Miami is definitely a city that has grown to be in the map now, right? When choosing a program, the city does matter. If you look at universities throughout the United States, many of the well-known universities, they are what they are because of the city they are in, right? I hope that makes sense. When you study and you have the chance to live a city, you're becoming part of that community. And let's remember that the success of education in America, in the United States, has been the integration between academic institutions, companies and government, right? I mean, all this knowledge transfer is the secret of the US education, which, just as a fun fact, has been inherited from the British or really the English system, right? Where research and being part of the ecosystem is so important. And the United States, as it became a nation and grew, universities have played such an important role. So in Miami, when you're studying at Westfield, again, you're not just in Miami, you're in the best area of Miami. Um, we're right in the heart of the financial district. Is a district that continues to grow, that continues to evolve. I mentioned it's becoming an educational corridor, for example. It's becoming a center of fashion. For those that know Miami, for example, it's so exciting what's going on in northern downtown with Wynwood, for example, the fashion district. And all that is becoming integrated into one. And Westfield, we're at the end of the financial district, the ever-changing. Brickell used to be just a strip of a few buildings 20 years ago. You had the area close to Key Biscayne where you had the residential buildings, just a few buildings, a few banks, and look what it is now. Now it's a little New York. You can barely see sometimes the sky of how many buildings are in the area. It's a very lively, cosmopolitan setting, but Miami style. You have the people mover, you have access to go, to North Miami, South Miami. So the location is just ideal. Again, if you're local, you have public transportation. We're close to the Brickell, station. There's parking. If you're you're coming from out of Miami or out of state, of course, what a great excuse to come to Miami periodically. So we put a lot of emphasis on our Miami location because of what the city entails. And just to finish, and not to make it too long, Miami is also an example of a city that has evolved from being just Latin American, capital in a way, to becoming a global city. If you look at Miami, it's full of businesses also from the Middle East, Europeans. It's interesting. I held a meeting recently with the Spanish chain of commerce, and they mentioned that any Spanish company thinking of entering the American or Canadian market, they choose Miami as their point of entry. What do you think they would choose New York? That was in the old days. Now Miami it's the new New York, and literally with so many New Yorkers moving down south. Oh well, but well, this is a little bit, a little bit of context on the city. Again, if you're from Miami, you probably know this. If you're not from Miami, I hope this information is useful. And again, if you're out of state, out of Miami, our team is there to help you with anything you need for your travels. Miami is our neighborhood. All right, our campus. So this photo is a real photo. That's the building where Westfield is located. We're on the sixth floor of 1200 Brickell Avenue. It's a beautiful building. And look at the skyline. I think if we probably need to take the picture again because in the past 2 months, there are more buildings, going up. So this slide is so exciting. Just as you are looking to innovate, we're constantly looking to innovate at Westfield, and our campus continues to innovate. We're a boutique business school, so our campus is, it's very special, very special. The word boutique describes it well. We offer the best location, the best views, the best floor, and this is some renovations we're going to be doing for 2027. So here you can get an idea. Obviously, probably you haven't seen the current campus. It's also very nice. It's we pride ourselves in keeping everything top notch. Why? Because of you. Because for us, that students have the best experience is the center of our triple bottom down. We want you to have the best facilities, the best experience when you visit our campus. So here you can see a little bit, and okay. All right, so we go from innovation to tuition. All right, this is the fun part. And again, I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna go right into the facts. Okay, our regular tuition is $35,000 for the entire 16 months. That is the tuition. And really, you only need to add two additional very small fees. One is a registration fee of $150. You pay that once you have been accepted into the program after completing your admissions interview. If you have studied your bachelor's or another master's outside the United States, we do need to charge you for a fee to basically, verify that that credential is real. It's just a standard. It's part of the regulations we need to cover. If you study in the United States, you do not need to pay this fee. Okay. And in order to be eligible to study master programs at Westfield, you need to have successfully completed a bachelor's program or equivalent. And it's ideal that you have at least 1 year work experience, but that is something that, depending on the case, we can talk about it. But that is 1, 2 years. It's usually the recommended. But if your case is different, sometimes we have people that have done their bachelor's and they have acquired business experience while studying. So that also could be counted towards your requirement of work experience. So basically, let's talk about it if you have a special situation. We have the Sunshine Scholarships. This is a very important thing at Westfield. We have an important endowment for students. So anyone applying to our data analytic programs is eligible to apply to the Sunshine Scholarships. We're basically looking for people that want to change the world in a very figurative sense. Leaders, community leaders, people that value education, that are excited about working and developing sustainable initiatives. This is not an environmental program, but again, the environment is so important at Westfield. So basically, you're open and invited to apply to the Sunshine Scholarships. And for example, for the spring 2026 intakes, we're able to award up to $25,000 in endowment. It varies, it's up to 70%, more or less, of the tuition cost. It's more based on percentage than on number. Okay, and again, as part of your process, once you have decided you would like to pursue a master with Westfield, you're invited to schedule a Sunshine Scholarship interview. Okay. And again, here's how to become a Sunshine Scholar. There's a process of interview and a short questionnaire to fill out, but you do that once you have decided you want to pursue a master program at Westfield. Okay, this photo is from one of the Global Immersion Weeks. This is at MIT in Boston, well, Cambridge. Here you can see some of our corporate partners, and this goes back to the point I was making before. We're at the center of a very interesting ecosystem, and we work with big companies, smaller companies, and entrepreneurial companies. So the idea, and in any a good business program is that to expose you, to help you network. But know that at Westfield, we have a very strong connection with important companies in Miami, in Florida, and in Latin America and across the globe. So this is something to consider when you think of Westfield. Again, environment is very important with us, and we have a very interesting initiative, one with Saving the Amazon and also with the United Nations World Tourism Organization. This is not just to have it there. It's part of our essence. We're always conscious that we live in planet Earth, and we cannot forget about the planet, even if you're studying data analytics. And here, I'm going to skip this. These are just some quick videos. Let me just see. Just need to press here. There we go. Okay, and coming to this other slide, here you can see the deadlines and the start dates. So our spring 2026 intake starts in mid-March. Then we have the summer intake in July, and then we have the fall intake in November. These are the deadlines. So yeah, the spring 2026 intake is coming up. If you're considering a master program for this year, I encourage you to get more information for this spring. We have, the Sunshine Scholarship Endowment it's very generous for this intake, so I invite you to consider it. Okay, but again, we understand these are decisions that are life-changing commitment. But again, our programs are designed in a way that you can continue working, you can continue having your personal responsibilities. But yes, I mean, a master's is of course a life-changing decision, and it's a fun, lots of work, and we try to make your experience as smooth as possible. I would like to mention that as part of the services we have, you'll be assigned a tutor, someone who's there to guide you, to help you in the sense that if you have an issue, to support you. So not only are you getting PhD professors, but you're also getting a tutor that will help you with anything you need throughout your process. So again, in our concept of boutique business school, we try to give you perks that will make your experience better, because we understand that your time is important and that it's a big commitment. And Westfield, our programs are rigorous. This you'll be getting quality education, and you'll work for your certificate at the end. Okay, so well, that's the end of my presentation. If anyone has any question, feel free to post it in the chat. Also, if I'm gonna put here a link that is it's a link to the calendar for one of our advisors. If you wish to schedule an advisor, no commitment. If you want to get more information and you want to schedule a session, I'm going to put here the link so you can do that right away. Thank you for your time and wish you best of luck. And hopefully we'll see you and have you as part of our Westfield family.